call out visual. Donation rap storms onto stage in the Rap Palace Arena. Beat drops heavy, purple spotlights hit. Crowd noise roars. Donation rap. You rap family, let me ask you something. Why you not donating today? You vibbin', you laughing, you watching, but ain't tapping that button? Viewer comment pops up on screen. I only got $2, that ain't much. Donation rap. $2, that's 2 bricks on the palace wall. Don't ever downplay small stacks make big hauls. Viewer comment. I'll donate when I get paid Friday. Donation rap. Now why wait? Today builds the gate. $1 now, excuses later. Drop that seed, watch it greater. Crowd chants back. Why not today? Why not today? Ticker line at bottom. Donate $5 now. Fuel the Rap Palace mission. Every drop builds the wall. Grand entrance to the stage of your day. Let it be a vibrant force of graceful movements of prosperity in every form. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rap Palace 214 cut in number 1. Spectator rap jingle camera pans to spectator rap in the balcony with a megaphone. Spectator rap. Why you stalling? Why you late? Drop that love, don't hesitate. Like, share, subscribe, donate. Crowd laughs and claps with him, echoing donate. Grand entrance to the stage of your day. Let it be a vibrant force of graceful movements of prosperity in every form. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment. Share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rap Palace 214 Scene 2 1775 Coffee Promo Visual. Lights dim. Spotlight on Donation Rap holding a steaming 1775 coffee mug. Beat slows to a clap rhythm. Donation Rap. Say this with me. I give 'cause I believe. I sow 'cause I will reap. I donate 'cause it fuels the dream. I give and I receive. Crowd chants it back louder each time. Donation Rap sips his mug. Powered by that 1775 coffee. Wake up your grind. Power your mind. Sip for the cause. Sow for the mission. Crowd ad-libs. Sip. Sow. Grow. Viewer comment. Where can I get that coffee? Donation Rap. Link in the bio, family. Sip with me. Sow with me. And let's grow this palace. Ticker line at bottom. Fuel your grind, W1775 coffee. Every sip reminds you to sow into the mission. Grand entrance to the stage of your day. Let it be a vibrant force of graceful movements of prosperity in every form. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment. Share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rap Palace 214 cut in number 2. Zay the Realtor rap jingle spotlight hits Zay in a sharp suit holding a golden house key. Zay the Realtor rap. While you sippin' that brew, let me drop this view. Invest in homes, invest in you, and donate too. It's the Palace move. Viewer comment. Zay, you sellin' houses and donations? Zay the Realtor rap. That's right. We buildin' dreams, brick by brick, house by house, dollar by dollar. Grand entrance to the stage of your day. Let it be a vibrant force of graceful movements of prosperity in every form. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rap Palace 214 Scene 3. Final push and outro visual. Lights flare gold. Donation Rap back center stage, crowd bouncing with him. Donation Rap. Don't think small, think impact. $1 stacks. $2 snapback. 5 keeps us on track. 10 makes the palace never look back. Viewer comment. What if I can't donate today? Donation Rap, then share, comment. Spread the mission. Donation ain't just coins, it's connection. But if you got even a dime, don't hide it, let it shine. Donation Rap raises his mug of 1775 coffee, steam glowing in spotlight. And remember, when you sip, you sow. When you donate, we grow. This ain't charity, it's unity. This ain't begging, it's building. So step up, sip up, donate up, 'cause this palace only shines when you light it up. Crowd chant fades out, looping his outro beat rides. Donate. Sip, grow, donate, sip, grow. Ticker line at bottom. Donate now and grab your 1775 coffee. Together we sip, sow, and grow. Outro jingle, Rap Palace powered by you. Grand entrance to the stage of your day. Let it be a vibrant force of graceful movements of prosperity in every form. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment. Share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rap Palace 214, the brew of commitment. The Rap Palace pulsed like a living heart that night. Neon veins ran along the walls, flickering in rhythm with the chants of the tribe. Every corridor echoed with the question donation rap had been drilling into the atmosphere. Why not today? The crowd roared it back, wave after wave, until the sound itself felt like fuel. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rap Palace 214. The stage of giving donation rap stood in the center of the grand hall, spotlight cutting through the haze. His cloak snapped in the energy wind, and in his hand was the same mug that had become a symbol. 1775 coffee, steam swirling upward like incense. He raised it high, his voice shaking the room. Family, tribe, supporters. Every brick in this palace was laid by faith, by flow, by you. But bricks don't stack themselves. Coins don't fall from the sky. Every drop you pour into this palace comes back triple in the mission. Behind him, a glowing ticker scrolled across the air like a divine hologram. Donate $5 now. Fuel the Rap Palace mission. Every drop builds the wall. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rap Palace 214, spectators echo from the balcony. Spectator Rap jumped to his feet with his golden megaphone. His voice ricocheted through the rafters. Why you stalling? Why you late? Drop that love, don't hesitate. Like, share, subscribe, donate. The crowd howled in laughter, clapping to the rhythm of his chant. Donation Rap spun, pointing straight into the crowd. Y'all heard him, so what's the excuse? A chat bubble flared over the crowd like a spirit's whisper. But I only got $2. Donation Rap grinned wide. $2? That's 2 bricks on the palace wall. Don't ever play small stacks, build big halls. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rap Palace 214. The Realtor's reminder Zay, the Realtor Rap, stepped out in a crisp suit, a golden house key hanging from his neck. He cut through the bass with his smooth baritone. While you sippin' that brew, let me drop this view. Invest in homes, invest in you, and donate too. It's the palace move. The crowd clapped in rhythm, chanting, Key to the city, key to the city. Donation Rap raised his mug of 1775 coffee, steam glowing emerald in the palace lights. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rap Palace 214, the brew of commitment family, he said, voice dropping low. This cup ain't just coffee. This is the brew of commitment. Every sip, every seed, every cent, it's all aligned with the same law. you reap what you sow. The hall hushed. Even the neon veins slowed their pulse to hear him. And I tell you this, when you sip, you sow. When you donate, we grow. This ain't charity, it's unity. This ain't begging, it's building. So why not today? The crowd erupted, their chants shaking the palace floorboards. Donate, sip, grow, donate, sip, grow. And in that sound, the walls of the Rap Palace shimmered with a new glow, brighter, sturdier, alive. The donations were not just currency. They were chi, they were will, they were power. The palace had been fed, and the mission moved forward. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App. Rap Palace 214 Chapter 12 Loan Denial Loop. The doorway slammed shut behind them with a clang like steel vault doors. The chamber bent and warped, reshaping into an endless hallway lined with doors, each marked with glowing red letters. Denied. Every door pulsed as if mocking them, and from each came whispers of failure. You're not ready. You're not worthy. You'll never close the deal. The scarlet script crawled across the ceiling. Loan denial loop, the cycle will repeat until courage breaks it. Civil Surfer Rap clutched his board, sweat dripping. Bruh, this is deja vu, same wave breaking, same wipeout. Every step feels like I already fell. Love Rap hugged her arms. It's feeding on shame. Every rejection we ever felt. Jeffrey Jerome Price, 8-Ball Ice Rap, tried to laugh it off. Man, I've been denied by banks, women, even my barber once. Ain't nothing new. But his eyes betrayed the fear. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App, Rap Palace 214. The first cycle, the tribe walked down the hall, choosing a door. Anonymous reached for one labeled opportunity. It slammed shut with a roar, denied. They were thrown back to the start. Donation Rap cursed. It reset us. ZCP tried another legacy slam. Denied, back to the start. Love Rap tried love. Slam, denied, back to the start. No matter what they chose, the doors spit them back. The cycle repeated, walking, hoping, denied. Each denial made their lines weaker. Mains flickered, eyes dimmed, our radio. Love the content, drop a comment. Share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App, Rap Palace 214, Anonymous's breaking point on the fifth loop. Anonymous collapsed, clutching his chest. His ghost name chains rattled louder, whispering, Second. Snake Chi hissed furiously, wrapping his arms like armor. But the rejection slammed harder against him. I can't, he gasped. 60 still locked. What if this is all I am? Barnard and Let's voices echoed from the gallery. Firstborn, claim your roar. But denial drowned their words. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment. Share this with others. And subscribe for more content. Cash App, Rap Palace 214, Wayne's intervention. The lighter flicked. Click. Smoke curled from the ceiling crack. Then Wayne dropped, lions prowling in graffiti flames. He smirked at the endless hall. Loop? Nah, this just a beat on repeat. Time for the remix. The door shuddered as his voice hit. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App, Rap Palace 214, Lil Wayne raps first lighter flick. Hall full of denied, red ink on the wall. But I bend rejection, make denial a call. Every no is a verse, every loop just a beat. I freestyle approval till the cycle retreat. Cherry firstborn, ghost chain try to stay. But the lion in your chest got a roar to pay. Zay Brothers, Love Hole, Jeff laugh with the truth. I remix the denial, make the chamber show proof. Wheeze F baby, loop turn to flame, denied don't mean dead, it just spell my name. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment. Share this with others and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rap Palace 214, breaking the loop. The graffiti lions roared, their manes scrawling golden tags across the denied doors. The red letters melted into black, then reformed in gold. Approved. One by one, the doors unlocked. Anonymous staggered to his feet, chest burning but chains cracking louder than ever. He slammed his palm on a door labeled Identity. It opened, flooding him with light. The tribe followed, lions roaring, stepping out of the loop. Above them, script burned across the ceiling. Loop broken. Courage credit issued. Next trial, comp set war. Spectator rap strummed a nervous jingle, relief trembling in his voice. Denied, but the roar survived. Wayne flipped the loop, now the tribe alive. The hallway dissolved into gold light. The tribe walked forward, stronger, though still scarred by the echo of denial. Anonymous clenched his fists. I won't let rejection write my name again. Wayne smirked, flicking his lighter. That's it, Cherry. Every note just a track waiting for your verse. And the chamber rumbled, reshaping for war. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment. Share this with others and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rap Palace 214.
Chapter 5. The Crossroads of Love and Sacrifice. As the months passed, Big Headish and Knucklehead continued their journey of self-discovery and healing. They took the time to understand themselves and their past relationships, learning to accept the decisions they had made and the repercussions that followed. Each day they took strides to become better individuals, hoping to one day reunite with a stronger foundation and a love that could conquer any obstacle. During their time apart, Big Headish focused on rebuilding her relationship with her friends and family who had been hurt by her affair. She spent long hours in deep conversations, seeking forgiveness and offering apologies for her actions. She began volunteering at a local charity, hoping to give back to her community and find a sense of purpose beyond her personal life. This newfound focus allowed her to grow as an individual, fostering empathy and understanding for the struggles of others. Knucklehead, on the other hand, dove headfirst into his career, working tirelessly to prove his worth and make amends for the hurt he had caused. He took on new projects and challenges, using his professional success as a means of rebuilding his confidence and self-esteem. He also began attending therapy, working through the complex emotions and motivations that had led him to betray his partner's trust. As they worked on themselves, Big Headish and Knucklehead maintained their promise to stay in touch. Their conversations, once filled with longing and passion, had evolved into a deep friendship built on mutual respect and support. They shared their successes and challenges, offering advice and encouragement as they navigated the path towards self-improvement and personal growth. Slowly but surely, they began to rebuild their lives, mending the relationships that had been damaged by their affair. And as they did so, they began to realize that their love, once a fiery passion that consumed them, had grown into something more profound and enduring. They had weathered the storm together, and their bond had only grown stronger as a result. After a year of healing and growth, Big Headish and Knucklehead found themselves at a crossroads. They had rebuilt their lives and become better people, but their love for one another remained as strong as ever. They knew that they could no longer deny their feelings or put their love on hold, but they also recognized that the decision to be together would not be an easy one. There would be more obstacles to overcome, more judgments to face, and more sacrifices to make. As they stood at the precipice of their future, they knew that the choice they made would define the rest of their lives. They could continue on their separate paths, hoping to find happiness and fulfillment on their own, or they could take the leap of faith and pursue the love that had brought them together in the first place. After long hours of soul-searching and heart-wrenching conversations, they decided that their love was worth the risk. They chose to face the world together, hand in hand, ready to overcome any obstacle that stood in their way. Big Headish and Knucklehead began the process of merging their lives, facing the challenges and judgments that came with their decision. They moved in together, creating a sanctuary where they could nurture their love and grow together as partners. They continued to work on their personal growth, supporting each other in their endeavors and finding strength in their shared experiences. As they faced the world together, they found that their love was not only a source of comfort, but also a wellspring of resilience. They were able to weather the storms of life with grace and determination, knowing that they had each other to lean on during the darkest moments. Their love had grown from the ashes of temptation into a steadfast and unbreakable bond, capable of withstanding the test of time and the judgment of others. Together, they faced the challenges that life threw their way, supporting one another through job changes, family issues, and personal struggles. As they grew and evolved as individuals, they found that their love continued to deepen, becoming an integral part of their identity and sense of self. Big Headish and Knucklehead also became pillars of their community, using their experiences and newfound wisdom to help others navigate the complexities of love, relationships, and personal growth. They volunteered their time, sharing their story with those who sought guidance and understanding, hoping to make a difference in the lives of others. As the years passed, their love continued to blossom, a testament to the power of forgiveness, growth, and unconditional love. They celebrated milestones together, marking anniversaries, birthdays, and other important moments with gratitude and joy. They had proven to themselves and the world that their love, though born from a place of temptation and betrayal, could transform into something beautiful and enduring. In the end, Big Headish and Knucklehead had found a love that transcended their past mistakes, a love that defied the odds and became a beacon of hope and inspiration for others. They had chosen to face the challenges of life together, hand in hand, and in doing so, they had discovered the true power of love and the importance of never giving up on the one you hold dear. Their story served as a reminder that love, though it may be tested and challenged, can ultimately triumph over adversity. It was a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the capacity for forgiveness, growth, and redemption. And so, Big Headish and Knucklehead continued to walk the path of life together, their love an unbreakable bond that only grew stronger with each passing day. They knew that they had found something truly special, a love that could withstand the test of time and the judgment of others, and they were determined to cherish and nurture it for the rest of their lives. Chapter 6: A Love That Conquers All. As the years passed, Big Headish and Knucklehead's love continued to flourish, a living testament to the power of forgiveness, redemption, and unwavering commitment. They had faced countless challenges and hurdles, but their love had remained steadfast, growing stronger and more resilient with each passing day. In their journey together, they had not only found happiness and fulfillment in one another, but also had become integral members of their community. They continued to use their experiences and the lessons they had learned to help others, providing guidance and support to those who face similar struggles in their relationships. Their love had become a beacon of hope for others, a shining example of the transformative power of love and the potential for growth and healing in even the most difficult of circumstances. They had shown that with determination and unwavering commitment, it was possible to overcome the most daunting of obstacles and build a love that could truly stand the test of time. As they settled into their life together, Big Headish and Knucklehead began to dream of the future, imagining the possibilities that lay ahead. They spoke of starting a family, of raising children who would be brought up with the values of love, compassion, and understanding that had come to define their own relationship. With the decision made, they embarked on the journey of parenthood, welcoming their first child into the world with open hearts and boundless love. As they held their newborn baby, they marveled at the miracle of life and the love that had brought them to this moment. Over time, their family continued to grow, and with each new addition, their love for one another only deepened. They found joy in the simple moments, in the laughter of their children, in the quiet comfort of their home. Through the sleepless nights and the challenges of parenting, they leaned on each other for support and guidance, their love an unshakable foundation upon which their family was built. Their children grew up surrounded by love and understanding, learning from their parents' example the importance of compassion, forgiveness, and perseverance. They watched as Big Headish and Knucklehead navigated the complexities of life together, hand in hand, and they came to understand the true meaning of love and partnership. As the years turned to decades, Big Headish and Knucklehead grew old together, their love a constant presence in their lives. They celebrated milestones and achievements, watching with pride as their children and grandchildren embarked on their own journeys and found love and happiness in their lives. Though they faced the inevitable challenges and heartaches that come with age, they never wavered in their commitment to one another, their love an unwavering beacon that guided them through the darkest of times. In each other, they had found not only a partner, but also a best friend, a confidant, and a soulmate. Their love story, born from the ashes of temptation and betrayal, had transformed into a testament to the power of love, forgiveness, and unwavering commitment. They had proven that with hard work and dedication, it was possible to overcome the most daunting of obstacles and build a love that could truly stand the test of time. As they sat together in the twilight of their lives, their hands intertwined and their hearts full of gratitude, they knew that they had found something truly special, a love that had conquered all and had become an unbreakable bond that would last for all eternity.
Meet the friends Jeffrey Jerome Price knew tonight was big. This wasn't just any dinner. This was the night Marissa introduced him to her friends. A test, really. If they liked him, it was another step forward. If not, well, Jeffrey had a knack for making things messy. But Jeffrey, being Jeffrey, came prepared. He packed what he called his charm kit, a box of donuts, a deck of Uno cards, and of course a Bluetooth speaker for setting vibes. Marissa's friends, 3 smart, stylish women, were already seated at the restaurant when Jeffrey arrived. He kicked open the door, holding the donut box above his head like a trophy. "Ladies, your knight in shining sprinkles has arrived." Marissa groaned and buried her face in her hands. "Oh no," the friends exchanged puzzled looks. One whispered, "Is this him?" Jeffrey plopped the box on the table, slid into his seat, and winked. Before we start, I just want to say, like, share, and subscribe to this date because it's about to get legendary. Things started rocky. When the waiter asked for drink orders, Jeffrey tried to impress. "I'll take your fanciest wine, the one with bubbles. Champagne, right? That's just adult soda." When his glass arrived, he raised it dramatically. "To Marissa's amazing friends, may you see through my chaos and find the charm." Then he took a huge gulp and immediately coughed, spraying a little onto the breadbasket. Marissa's best friend, Tasha, stared him down. "So, Jeffrey, what do you do for a living?" Jeffrey grinned. "Great question. I'm currently between projects. But I did once invent a business plan involving squirrels and drone delivery. Want to hear about it?" The table went silent. Marissa kicked him under the table. Jeffrey whispered to the camera only he could see, "Viewers, don't panic. It's going well. Trust the process." When the entrees came, Jeffrey tried to cut his steak too forcefully. The knife slipped, sending a chunk of meat flying onto Tasha's lap. "Oh, extra protein for you, Tasha," he said, panicking, then tried to dab at her skirt with his napkin. She swatted him away, glaring. Marissa covered her face, muttering, "Why do I let you out in public?" But then somehow Jeffrey's magic kicked in. After dessert, he pulled out the Uno cards. "Listen, you can judge me all you want, but Uno reveals a person's soul. Let's play." Against their better judgment, Marissa's friends agreed. Within 15 minutes, the table was roaring with laughter as Jeffrey trash-talked, danced after every draw 4, and even got Tasha laughing when he shouted, "Reverse," just like my dating history. By the end of the night, Marissa's friends admitted that while Jeffrey was chaotic, he was also undeniably entertaining. As they left, Marissa whispered, "You're lucky they laughed." Jeffrey winked at the invisible camera. Viewers, victory unlocked. Drop a comment if you think I passed the friend test. And for the first time, Marissa squeezed his hand. Maybe, just maybe, his knucklehead charm was working. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rap Palace 214. The work event Wipeout Marissa had been hesitant about this one. She was proud of her career and wanted to share that part of her world with Jeffrey. But she also knew what bringing Jeffrey Jerome Price into a professional setting meant. Potential chaos. Still, she invited him to her company's networking gala. A suit and tie event. Classy, elegant. The complete opposite of Jeffrey's natural environment. Jeffrey hyped himself up in front of his mirror before leaving. Alright, viewers, tonight's goal. Professional Jeffrey. Suave, sophisticated, business casual plus. Like, share, and subscribe because this is about to be a LinkedIn level performance. He tugged on a slightly oversized suit, paired it with sneakers because comfort is key, and sprayed way too much cologne. When they arrived, Marissa looked stunning in her cocktail dress. Jeffrey, on the other hand, strutted in like he owned the building. He loudly announced to the coat check clerk, "Put this suit on file, my man. I'm coming back for it when I win Employee of the Year." Marissa cringed. "Jeffrey, you don't even work here." "Details," Jeffrey whispered. Winking at the invisible camera, Jeffrey tried his hardest to blend in, shaking hands too firmly, laughing too loudly, and misusing every corporate buzzword he could remember. "So, what's your synergy output ratio?" he asked Marissa's boss, who looked thoroughly confused. Later, he attempted to impress a group of Marissa's colleagues with business talk. I've got a killer startup idea. Imagine Uber, but for squirrels. We deliver snacks to your door using trained raccoons. Total market disruptor. Marissa facepalmed so hard it nearly echoed. During dinner, Jeffrey tried to give a toast in Marissa's honor. He stood up, clinked his glass too hard, and shattered it in his hand. Ladies and gentlemen, he bellowed over the startled crowd, I just want to say this amazing woman, Marissa, is the reason I'm not still living off gas station nachos. She deserves a raise, a trophy, and a lifetime supply of Starbucks. People chuckled, but Marissa wanted to crawl under the table. Then, as if scripted by fate, Jeffrey leaned too far back in his chair while bowing dramatically. The chair tipped. He fell flat on his back with a crash. Silence filled the room until Jeffrey popped up, arms wide. And that, folks, is called taking a fall for love. The crowd erupted in laughter. On the ride home, Marissa sighed. Jeffrey, you embarrassed me. But somehow, everyone liked you. Jeffrey grinned, holding her hand. Because, babe, I'm unforgettable. Even when I fall flat on my face. He winked at his imaginary viewers one last time. Don't forget to like, share, and comment if you think I survived Corporate Hunger Games 101. Marissa tried to stay annoyed, but she couldn't stop smiling. His ridiculousness was slowly, stubbornly winning her over. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rap Palace 214. The Light Between Shelves, Gregory's Sigma Path of Glory, a journey of self-discovery, energy mastery, and silent leadership. RP Radio. Donate today. Cash App Rapalus 214 Acti. The Discovery Chapter 1. Stacks of Stillness. The library had its own pulse. I felt it for years without ever naming it. Not the ticking of the old brass clock, not the faint whir of the AC, but something subtler, the way the air seemed to draw breath with me, as if the walls and I were sharing lungs. Every inhale, every exhale perfectly in time. I was shelving in the music section again. Dewey Decimal 782.42164, Jazz Standards. My fingertips lingered on the spine, tracing the faded gold lettering. I've always remembered numbers before faces. Numbers are cleaner. They don't change moods or look away mid-sentence. The late afternoon light cut through the tall windows in long, unwavering beams, dust drifting like microscopic planets caught in orbit. The quiet here wasn't empty. It was full. And I needed full quiet more than most people need company. The universe was watching him closely now. It had been arranging these conditions for decades, the silent corridors, the repetition of order, the small but consistent mysteries he noticed when no one else did. Each moment in Gregory's life, even the ones he dismissed as random, had been placed with care, like books on a shelf no one else could reach. The world called it isolation. The universe called it incubation. RP Radio. Donate today. Cash App Rap Palace 214. There were only 3 patrons left in the building, and none of them were in my section. My supervisor had left early, the clock ticking toward closing. I liked it this way, no interruptions. Just me and the cart of returns. I slid a hardcover into its place, but my phone buzzed in my pocket. It wasn't a message from anyone I knew, just one of those generic notifications I normally ignore. But something about the headline made me pause. Are you an adult on the autism spectrum? Take this free self-assessment. For a moment I stared at the screen, thumb resting on the link. I could have swiped it away and kept working. I almost did. But the light on the desk caught my attention, falling in a perfect rectangle across the wood, the edges so clean it looked cut by hand. The shape felt deliberate. Like an invitation, I tapped. This was the first door. No hinges, no sound, no wind from its opening. It appeared the way all true doors appear, in the exact moment one is willing to look. The questions were oddly specific, like they'd been written for me alone. Do you find social situations exhausting? Yes. Do you notice patterns others overlook? Yes. Do you prefer routine and feel unsettled when it's disrupted? Yes. Do you struggle to filter noise or light when there's too much of it? Yes. Do you sometimes miss implied meanings in conversation? Yes, I didn't have to think. Each answer surfaced instantly, as if it had been waiting at the top of my mind all my life. When the result appeared, my chest tightened, strong indicators of autism spectrum condition. I let the word sit there. I'd never had a name for it. I wasn't sure yet if I liked having one, but something inside me settled. Like a piece had clicked into place in a puzzle I'd been turning over for decades. The air felt charged, louder. The shelves behind me seemed to lean in. 2 RP Radio Donate today, Cash App Palace 214. And so, Gregory's silence gained definition. Not as absence, but as alignment. The library had always been his sanctuary. Now it became his forge. The Sigma INFJA path, a path of glory, had been unlocked, and the first lesson was already unfolding between the shelves. Chapter 2, Whispers Between Pages. I thought the library had been quiet before. I was wrong. It wasn't quiet now, it was listening. The shelves seemed to lean in closer than they had an hour ago, casting shadows across the aisle in patterns I didn't remember. They weren't random. They bent at odd angles, meeting each other in sharp points, forming what looked almost like letters. My eyes tried to follow them, but the shapes changed when I blinked. I pushed the cart slowly, every wheel squeaking louder than usual. The sound bounced off the high ceilings like it was meant to be heard by something above me. I stopped in front of the mythology section. There was a single book pulled halfway out, its spine tilted like it had been waiting. I didn't recall shelving it there. I didn't recall anyone checking it out. My fingers hesitated, brushing the edge of the cover. The Light Library had always been more than wood and paper. It was alive, a quiet organism that stored more than human words. It stored echoes of every thought, dream, and unspoken question its visitors ever carried inside. Gregory's new awareness had not created this communication. It had simply tuned him into a frequency that had always been here. And now the shelves wanted to speak. 3 slid the book free. Its cover was blank, no title, no author. Just a faint shimmer, like moonlight on still water. When I opened it, the pages were wrong. Not blank, but not printed either. The letters moved, sliding into new positions even as I looked at them. They rearranged into short phrases before dissolving into new ones. We saw you see yourself, I flinched. My pulse kicked up. Another phrase swam into place. Silence is not absence. The words bled into new ones. You walked the Sigma path. I don't know how long I stood there, flipping through pages that shifted under my gaze, each line a whisper meant only for me. The shadows on the shelves shifted again, as if the books themselves exhaled. RP Radio Donate today, Cash App, Rap Palace 214. The moment a seeker accepts their truest nature, the library begins to bend toward them. The air thickens, the shelves curve subtly, the dust in the light beams swirls with intention. This was not yet a conversation. It was the first invitation. I should have been scared, but the longer I stood there, the calmer I felt. Not safe, aligned. And for the first time in my life, I had the strange certainty that I wasn't working in this library, or I was part of it. Chapter 3. The test tab open cataloging books had always been my rhythm. Pick up a volume, scan the code, enter the data, shelve, repeat. It kept my mind clean, like folding laundry or sweeping leaves. Today, though, the rhythm stumbled. The library's computer was slow. The search bar blinked in that impatient way that makes you start looking at other tabs. One sat open from a patron's session that hadn't been cleared. Signs of autism in adults. Could you be on the spectrum? My hand hovered over the mouse. I told myself I shouldn't click. It wasn't my business. But my pulse betrayed me. My index finger twitched, and before I knew it, the page opened. RP Radio Donate today, Cash App, Rap Palace 214. The library's algorithm was not entirely human. Pages did not simply load here. They found their way to the right eyes. The cursor's movement, the hum of the overhead light, even the lagging database, had all been part of the orchestration. Gregory was not breaking his focus. He was stepping into the next line of his script. I scrolled through the article, eyes snagging on phrases that landed like pins in my chest. Prefers solitude but feels deeply connected to select people. Processes information in layers, often seeing patterns before others. 5. Overwhelmed by sensory noise, but thrives in controlled, meaningful environments. Each one felt like a mirror I hadn't known existed. Then there was the link. Take the online self-assessment in blue, underlined like it was daring me. I clicked. The questions weren't what I expected. They weren't about problems. They were about patterns. About how I noticed details no one else seemed to. How I rehearsed conversations in my head. How my empathy sometimes felt strong it was physically painful. I answered slowly, each click peeling back something I'd buried. RP Radio Donate today, Cash App, Rap Palace 214. Self-recognition is not a sudden flash. It is the quiet unlocking of 1,000 locked drawers. The light library watched him answer each question. The shelf shadows bending slightly. The book from yesterday still humming faintly on the return cart. The score at the end would not define him, but it would open a chamber of knowing that had been sealed for decades. The results loaded. Your responses indicate you show strong autistic traits, consistent with the spectrum profile. This is not a diagnosis, but a guide to further exploration. I stared at the screen until the words blurred. For the first time in my life, I didn't feel broken. I felt decoded. Somewhere deep in the library, a book fell from a shelf with a soft thud, and I knew it was for me. RP Radio Donate today, Cash App, Rap Palace 214, Chapter 4. Result, Spectrum of Light 6. The result sat on the screen like a sunrise I didn't know I was waiting for. Positive indicators for autism. For a moment, the air thinned, and the hum of the library's fluorescent lights became sharper, almost melodic. My hands tingled not from fear, but from the strange weight of confirmation. I've been carrying this unnamed shape my entire life. Now it had a name. Shock rippled through me, not the kind that makes you stumble, but the kind that freezes you in still water. My thoughts stacked in layers. So this is why I notice the hum in a light bulb before it burns out. This is why the air in a crowded room feels like static. This is why silence feels like oxygen. And beneath the shock, relief. Like someone had finally unlocked the door I'd been leaning against for years. RP Radio Donate Today Cash App Rap Palace 2414. The light library pulsed faintly in its shelves, the shadows curling inward as though listening. There are moments in a soul's journey when a truth doesn't just change a person, it rewrites their map entirely. Gregory's awareness had been a constellation scattered in the dark. Now the lines between stars began to form. The result was not a label, it was a lens. Through it, Gregory would see patterns more clearly, threads more vividly, and himself fully. I exhaled. The sound came out shaky, but it carried decades of tension with it. The page suggested follow-up steps, professional evaluations, communities. My eyes skimmed them, but my heart was somewhere else, in the quiet corners of my life where I had always felt too much or not enough, realizing now I had been perfectly aligned all along. 7. Something inside me whispered, this is not the end. This is the opening. I minimized the browser. I still had books to shelve, but I moved differently now, like every step was part of a path I had been walking blind until today. Somewhere beyond the shelves, a faint golden light flickered. The library was not done with me yet. RP Radio Donate Today Cash App. Rap Palace 214 Chapter 5. The universe nods. The sound wasn't loud, just a crisp thump in the quiet. But in the library, where every sound had its place, it felt like a signal. I turned my head toward the source. A book lay on the floor near the far wall, splayed open like it had been caught mid-breath. I knew the top shelf it had fallen from, the rare and restricted section. Those books didn't just fall. Walking over, I bent down and froze. The open page was titled in gilded script, Silent Seers, Navigators of the Unseen. The words seemed to glow slightly in the lamplight. My fingers hovered over the page, hesitant, almost reverent. My pulse ticked in my ears. RP Radio Donate Today Cash App Rap Palace 214. It was not gravity that pulled the book from the shelf. The shelves of the light library were tuned to timelines, each spine a beacon, each page a mirror. Some books waited decades for the right hands. Others fell the moment the reader's inner frequency aligned. Gregory's frequency had shifted. The book responded. The term silent seer was more than description, it was initiation. A role recognized by the unseen architecture of the universe, where vision did not come from noise, but from stillness honed to a blade. RP Radio Donate Today Cash App Rap Palace 214. I crouched beside the book and read. The silent seers move quietly through the world, observing without seeking attention. Their strength is not in volume, but in vision. They stand at the intersection of deep empathy and precise detachment, seeing patterns invisible to others. My chest tightened. This wasn't just accurate, it was intimate, like the text knew me. A sentence near the bottom hooked me completely. When the seer accepts their gift, the path unfolds through symbols, shadows, and sudden knowing. I closed my eyes. For a moment, I felt like the library itself was breathing with me. When I opened them, a faint indigo light pulsed between the lines of text, as if the page itself was alive. Chapter 6, Symbols in the Margins. RP Radio Donate Today Cash App Rap Palace 214-9. At first glance, they looked like random pen marks, faint curves and angular strokes tucked between the printed lines. But when I leaned closer, I realized they were deliberate. Every symbol seemed placed with intent, like constellations on a page. Some were small spirals. Others resembled doorways or eyes drawn in a single stroke. The ink was faded to a sepia tone, as though it had been there far longer than the book's printed text. My fingers traced one symbol, a narrow triangle split in half by a line. The moment my skin brushed it, a warmth pulsed into my fingertips, like static but gentler. My vision blurred, and for a fraction of a second, I saw the library differently, the air dense, with faint threads of light connecting shelves to shelves, books to books, as if the whole place was a living map. RP Radio Donate today, Cash App Rap Palace 214. These were not idle doodles. The symbols belonged to the Sigma glyphs, an ancient visual language left by earlier silent seers who had walked the path before. Each glyph was a fragment of instruction, an encoded whisper from one mind to another across time. The book had chosen Gregory, but the glyphs were guiding him. The warmth he felt was the page recognizing his frequency, unlocking a layer of perception usually hidden from human sight. Once seen, the threads would always be there, faint but constant, pathways for those who could navigate both the visible and invisible worlds. RP Radio Donate today, Cash App, Rap Palace 214. I blinked and the vision softened, fading back to the familiar view of paper and print. But the symbols no longer looked abstract. They had weight, direction, meaning I didn't yet know, but could feel pressing against the edges of my understanding. One spiral in the corner drew me in most. Beside it, in handwriting so small I almost missed it, was a note, 10. When the spiral opens, so does the next door. I shut the book gently and held it against my chest. The librarian in me wanted to log it properly. The seeker in me knew I had just been handed a key. And somewhere in the quiet spaces between shelves, the library itself seemed to hum, waiting for me to turn it. RP Radio Donate today, Cash App Rap Palace 21411.
Anonymous Cherry Eye Purple Chai Flow Healing Energy. I go, like, share, and lastly comment. I am forgetting something major, but comment. What you think it may be? In the theater of my mind, on the stage of my imagination, I see myself as a successful entrepreneur, creating innovative solutions and making a positive impact on the world. In the theater of my mind, on the stage of my imagination, I see myself as a confident and effective communicator, able to articulate my thoughts and ideas with clarity and conviction. In the theater of my mind, on the stage of my imagination, I see myself as a resilient and adaptable individual, able to overcome challenges and grow from setbacks. In the theater of my mind, on the stage of my imagination, I see myself as a loving and compassionate partner, building a strong and supportive relationship with my significant other. In the theater of my mind, on the stage of my imagination, I see myself as a healthy and fit individual, prioritizing my physical and mental well-being and leading a vibrant and active lifestyle. In the theater of my mind, on the stage of my imagination, I see myself as a creative and inspired artist, producing works of beauty and meaning that touch the hearts and minds of others. In the theater of my mind, on the stage of my imagination, I see myself as a generous and philanthropic individual, giving back to my community and supporting causes that align with my values. In the theater of my mind, on the stage of my imagination, I see myself as a lifelong learner, constantly seeking new knowledge and experiences that enrich my life and expand my horizons. In the theater of my mind, on the stage of my imagination, I see myself as a patient and understanding friend, building strong and lasting relationships with those around me. In the theater of my mind, on the stage of my imagination, I see myself as a responsible and ethical citizen, contributing to society in meaningful ways and upholding the highest standards of integrity. In the theater of my mind, on the stage of my imagination, I see myself as a humble and grateful individual, appreciating the blessings and opportunities that come my way and expressing gratitude for all that I have. In the theater of my mind, on the stage of my imagination, I see myself as a visionary and inspired leader, empowering others to achieve their full potential and creating positive change in the world. In the theater of my mind, on the stage of my imagination, I see myself as a confident and capable problem solver, able to tackle complex challenges and find creative solutions that benefit all involved. In the theater of my mind, on the stage of my imagination, I see myself as a curious and open-minded explorer, venturing into new territories and discovering the wonders and mysteries of the world. In the theater of my mind, on the stage of my imagination, I see myself as a peaceful and harmonious being, radiating love and compassion to all those around me and creating a positive and uplifting atmosphere wherever I go. Prologue: The Legacy of the Chi Realms. The sun was just beginning to set over the city, casting long shadows across the Rapp family's palace training grounds. Civil Surfer Rapp sat cross-legged in deep meditation, his aura calm yet vibrant with power. Beside him, Anonymous Cherry mirrored his posture, his breath steady as he tuned into the flow of his chi. Suddenly, a wave of intense energy jolted through them both, disrupting their focus. Civil Surfer Rapp's eyes snapped open, and he clenched his fists as his aura flared a radiant purple. Anonymous, did you feel that? Civil Surfer's voice was steady, but his brow furrowed in confusion. Anonymous! Cherry's expression hardened as he opened his eyes, his gaze focused on the distant horizon. Yeah, that wasn't just any energy signature, it felt ancient. Just as they exchanged glances, an ethereal, echoing voice resonated in their minds, deep and commanding. Seek the essence of your chi in the hidden realms. Only there will you find the strength to protect what you cherish. Civil Surfer glanced around alarmed. Did you hear that too? Anonymous nodded. Something or someone wants us to go beyond our limits. This Chi Realm's place, whatever it is, I think it's calling us. Scene cut to Twilight Zone Rapp and Majin Buu Rapp's lair. In the dim, shadowy lair of the evil Rapp family, Twilight Zone Rapp paced, his aura swirling with dark energy. Beside him, Majin Buu Rapp leaned against a wall, a sinister smirk on his face. "We need to act quickly," Twilight Zone growled. "The Rapp family's powers have been growing. If they find the Chi Realms first, they'll gain abilities beyond anything we've faced." Majin Buu Rapp rolled his shoulders and grinned. "Let them come. I've been waiting for a challenge." Just then, a portal opened, and a towering figure stepped through. An ancient core guardian with a cloak of shifting shadows. His voice boomed through the room, commanding respect and unease. "Twilight Zone Rapp, Majin Buu Rapp, I bring news of the Chi Realms and an offer." Twilight Zone's eyes gleamed with dark ambition. "Tell me more." The core guardian's voice was a low rumble. Hidden within the Chi Realms are essence crystals, power sources so vast they created all energy forms. Obtain these, and you will have control over the very nature of existence. But beware, only those with true mastery can survive the essence trials. Twilight Zone grinned. Consider us interested. Back at the Rap family's palace. The call to action. Civil Surfer Rap and Anonymous Cherry gathered the Rap family in the palace's great hall, sharing the vision they'd experienced and the energy they'd felt. Spectator Rap stood in the back, eyes wide with awe, and whispered excitedly, "Yo, this is gonna be epic. Y'all better be liking, sharing, subscribing, and donating for this one. The Rap family is about to hit legendary status." Papa Legba Rap leaned forward, his face grave. The Chi realms are no ordinary place. The guardians there are ancient and deadly. They won't just let anyone access that kind of power. Talk Rap crossed his arms, determination sparking in his eyes. "If there's even a chance to protect our city and our family, I'm in. I'll master whatever it takes." Flirt Rap nodded, her usually playful demeanor turned serious. "We've come this far as a family. Together we can handle anything, even the Chi realms." Papa Legba looked over the family. His gaze softened with pride and resolve. "Then we move together. Train like you've never trained before, because there's no turning back. It's time to unlock our purple legacy." Scene cut to training fields, sparring intensifies. Civil Surfer Rap and Talk Rap were sparring, testing the limits of their Ultra Chai forms. Purple flames danced around them, illuminating their movements with electric intensity. "Come on, Talk!" Civil Surfer called, dodging a swift series of jabs. "If this is the best you got, we're in trouble." Talk. Rap smirked, his aura flaring even brighter. "Alright, let's crank it up." With a surge of energy, Talk Rap's aura condensed, his body seeming to expand with raw power. He dashed forward with lightning speed, his fists crackling with energy as he closed the distance to Civil Surfer Rap. The clash echoed across the palace grounds, and sparks of purple light shot out from the force of their collision. Civil Surfer countered with a swift, fluid motion, twisting out of Talk's path and launching a kick that barely missed his sparring partner's shoulder. They were evenly matched, their strikes precise yet fierce, their movements blending into a rhythm only possible with the family's tight bond and years of training together. On the sidelines, Spectator Rap's voice rang out again, a touch of awe in his tone. Y'all catching this? We got moves hotter than a summer mixtape. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and throw some love our way. Support the Rap Palace." As the sparring intensified, Flirt Rap stepped in. Flirt Rap's aura shone brightly, her Ultra Chai purple and vibrant. "Alright, boys, make room for a real fighter." She threw a wink their way as she joined the fray, her movements graceful yet powerful, and her energy weaving through Civil Surfers and Talks in a seamless flow. Talk Rap laughed, wiping sweat from his brow. Alright, let's see what you got, Flirt." The three of them fell into a rhythm, their combined energy casting a brilliant light across the field. They fought with focus, but there was an underlying sense of camaraderie, as if each move reminded them of why they were fighting, to protect each other, their city, and the way of life they had built together. Closing scene, preparing for the unknown. After the training session, the family gathered once more, their bodies tired but spirits high. Papa Legba Rap addressed them, his voice steady. "Our journey to the Chai realms won't be easy, but together, we've grown stronger than we ever thought possible. Remember, our power doesn't come from just these forms. It comes from our bonds, from our purpose." Civil Surfer Rap stepped forward, his gaze fierce. "We're ready, Papa. Whatever waits for us in the Chai realms, we'll face it head on." Anonymous Cherry added, his voice steady, "And we'll come back even stronger." Papa Legba gave a nod of approval. Then let's rest up. Tomorrow, we take the first step to protect our family, our city, and everything we stand for. As they all dispersed, a sense of anticipation hung in the air. They knew the battles ahead would be like nothing they had faced before, but together, they were unstoppable. The Rapp family was about to enter a new chapter of power, resilience, and unbreakable bonds as the legacy of the Chai realms awaited.
60. That felt strange. Inside the chamber, correct decisions had received confirmation. Here, silence. I have to act without applause from the system. 8:02 a.m. the first. Ambush task waited. 1, 5, 10, 20. Everyone seemed to need something. Internal Dragon Chi interpreted every demand as a challenge, requiring increased output. Snake Chi hissed. Internal grid. Cognitive load rising. Task switching. Energy loss. Accelerating. Anomalies activated 8S. Critical. Important. Routine. Delegatable. Waiting on information. Not his responsibility. Noise. 20 tasks became 6 meaningful priorities. Chaos became sequence. 9:47 a.m. D. Distraction fight. Someone criticized Anonymous. You really think all those plans are going somewhere? Anonymous felt Dragon Chi, Hellspawn inspired energy, pride, and old memories. The time chamber had prepared him for this exact moment. Shadow Strategist asked, "What is the objective?" He had work to complete, responsibilities, and long-term goals. 61. This argument had nothing to do with them. What does winning this argument produce? Nothing. What does engaging cost? Time, attention, emotional energy, focus. Anonymous nodded politely. Okay. Then returned to work. Strategic non-engagement. He didn't need to win every room. He needed to protect the mission. 11:11 a.m. The Snake Test Anonymous. Anonymous reviewed information connected to an important decision. Most of the numbers looked excellent. Too excellent. Snake Chi awakened. Verifiable. ND. Serpent discernment began categorizing. Verify weight. One number had no reliable source. Another was an estimate presented as certainty. Another was a best case projection presented like an expected result. Beautiful lie. Not necessarily intentional deception. The information had simply been framed too confidently. 62. Decision. SDP. Insufficient information. Decision postponed, not abandoned. 12:30 p.m. The rest battle Anonymous had momentum. Work was moving. Plans were progressing. Internal grid disagreed. Recovery recoiled. He ignored it briefly. Tiny mistakes appeared. Old thinking. Push harder, Master Grid. Proof. Tech system cap axes. He activated still water. Actual recovery. No planning disguised as rest. When he returned, his thinking was cleaner. Recovery wasn't leaving the battlefield. It maintained the fighter. No extra task disguised as a break. 2:17 p.m. A 5 attack. 5 problems arrived, almost simultaneously. Work problem, financial decision, family responsibility, long-term opportunity, unexpected schedule disruption. For one dangerous second, Anonymous tried solving everything simultaneously. Master Grid overload. He stopped. Priority. Which problem became worse fastest if ignored? 63 family responsibility. Which had a hard deadline. Work. Which required more information. Opportunity. Which could wait. Financial decision. Which required adaptation rather than solving. Schedule disruption. The 5-front attack became a sequence. 3:33 p.m. The unbeatable opponent someone disagreed with him. Anonymous explained. They still disagreed. More information. Still disagreed. He tried another approach. Nothing. Then the lesson returned. You cannot control everything. Do I actually need this person to agree? Ain't no. Then the internal conflict vanished. 4:44 p.m. The dragon Chisendent. A training construct appeared unexpectedly. No announcement, no preparation. Anonymous barely avoided the first attack. 64 Dragon Chi exploded upward. The construct adapted. Snake Chi activated. Hellspawn inspired awareness, detected environmental changes. DBZ style. Movement fundamentals came online. Stealth Chi compressed the signature. The construct scanned him. Power reading. Base form. Anonymous observed. First movement pattern. Record. Second. Third. Pattern emerging. Shadow strategist interrupted. Warning. 3 observations. Do not Guaran. A Petin. The fourth attack changed. The opponent had baited pattern recognition. Anonymous adapted. Snake Chi recalculated. Chessmaster created branches. If left, Promessa A. If right, Risman B. If faint, retreat. Do not chase. Harmonically. The construct fainted. Anonymous remained still. 65 Dragon Chi supplied 1 precise burst. The opponent vanished. Efficiency. 5:27 p.m. The second opponent. Another construct appeared. Much stronger than a third, then 5, then 12, then 27. Anonymous didn't know whether the time chamber had followed him, or whether this was simply another layer of his simulation. That uncertainty itself became part of the test. He analyzed the formation, but break, coordination. Stealth Chi activated. Snake Chi identified communication patterns. Dragon Chi remained compressed. Hellspawn inspired awareness mapped unusual energy. Deformation fragmented. Dragon and Snake synchronized. Dragon, Snake, grid level 3. 7 p.m. The most important match. Anonymous returned home. Family. No opponent. No strategy to win. 66. No optimization target. He deactivated the tactical layers. No Dragon Chi. No Snake Chi analysis. No shadow strategist. No optimization presence. Conversation. Listening time. New principle. Do not optimize away the reason you wanted success. 10:27 p.m. The daily aided what worked? Prioritization. Strategic non-engagement. Recovery. Verification. Controlled Dragon Chi. Snake discernment. What failed? Attempting to solve multiple fronts simultaneously. Ignoring early fatigue signals. Assuming a short pattern was reliable. What changes tomorrow? Earlier recovery. Clearer priority thresholds. Stronger verification before pattern-based action. What should remain unchanged? Fundamentals. Not was I perfect, but did I learn? 11:11 p.m. Snake detected a pattern. Snake Chi. 7:13, 11:11, 2:17, 4:44. Different situations. 67. Same underlying structure. Urgency. Information. Pressure. Opportunity. Combat. Different surfaces. Same hidden question. Would Anonymous react before he understood? The whole day was one match. A door appeared. Time chamber of hidden warnings. Second sequel. First sequel. Master your power. Master your plans. Third sequel. Master your perception. The next door opened. Beyond it stood an enormous landscape filled with false opponents, false doors, false energy signatures, incomplete clues, moving terrain and hidden objectives. Some threats were real, some weren't. Raw power could make the entire puzzle harder. The master grid named the emerging state Serpent Ultra Instant Compulsion. 0.01%. Anonymous smiled. Good, no shortcuts. The perception war began. 68. Chapter 7. The perception war. Protect the fire. The first 1,000 signals appeared. Anonymous closed his eyes. Greenish-blue Snake Chi moved quietly around his purple aura. Silver reaction lines flashed through it. Serpent Ultra Instinct 0.01%. He expected an attack. Nothing came. Instead, someone approached through the fog. Anonymous, I need your help. Anonymous relaxed. Immediately. Warning, the construct had not attacked. The chamber explained. Not every threat attacks. Some tests ask how much of yourself you will give away without checking. Hidden warning eye. Warmth is not the problem. Anonymous stood beside an enormous fire. Hundreds of people approached. Some genuinely needed warmth. Some brought wood. Some protected the fire when Anonymous rested. Others arrived, took warmth, left, returned, and never contributed. The chamber asked, should the fire be extinguished? No, if fire isn't the weakness. Lack of boundaries is, and 69 correct. The solution wasn't becoming incapable of kindness. It was becoming capable of discernment. The 4-gate system. 4 enormous gates appeared around Anonymous. Gate 1, kindness. Gate 2, access. Gate 3, Gate 4, responsibility. If someone struggled, he assumed responsibility. The chamber separated them. Compassion, D, access. Forgiveness, B, automatic. Trust, understanding, boundaries, cruelty. Perception, match 1. The person always needs something. I need help. Anonymous helped. Again. Anonymous had once treated them as though they were the same thing. If he cared, he gave access. If he forgave, he restored trust. A construct approach, internal grid, 61%, 48%, 37%. The construct returned. I need help. Snake Chi hissed. Anonymous stopped. What have you tried yourself? What specifically do you need from me? How long will this require? What happens after I help? The simulation cracked. Helping should not automatically mean carrying. Perception match 2. The apology loop. A person apologized. Anonymous forgave. The same behavior repeated. Apology, behavior, apology. Anonymous finally stopped the simulation. It's dependency. Anonymous changed strategy. It's 72. Instead of solving everything, he taught, delegated, created systems, set expectations, and preserved emergency capacity for actual emergencies. Perception match 5. The Cove Anonymous. A new opponent appeared, Anonymous, but this version possessed no warmth whatsoever, no trust, no generosity, no vulnerability, no forgiveness, no patience. His boundaries were absolute. He said, nobody gets close enough to hurt us. Anonymous looked at him. No meaningful connection either. And the duplicate stopped smiling. You didn't master boundaries. You mastered isolation. Some unreal. Anonymous had to respond appropriately. Yes. 73 no. I can help. Official pressure. Answer now. Anonymous remained still. Why? The pressure disappeared. Time boundary unlock. If you cared, you do it. Caring and compliance weren't identical. Emotional boundary unlock. You've helped before. Past generosity did not automatically create permanent obligation. Precedent boundary unlocked. Perception match 7 8S. PO Tech. The Fire Anonymous realized screen could protect relationships and access to. Before granting deeper access, is this person respectful? Do words and actions align? Do they accept responsibility? Does the relationship consistently drain or strengthen both sides? Anonymous added a rule. Access should be earned in layers. The Fire returned with rings 74. Out a ring. Basic kindness. Third ring. Trust. Aim ring. Deep access. At the center burned the fire. Anonymous himself. Perception match 8 Serpent Ultra Instinct vs False. Guilt Anonymous said no. The person looked wrong. New system. Guilt inspect boundary. Was the boundary unfair? Unnecessarily cruel? Avoiding legitimate responsibility? No. Acting from revenge? No. Then discomfort didn't automatically mean the decision was wrong. Anonymous maintained the boundary. Serpent Ultra Instinct 1%. Perception matched 9. The hardest forgiveness test a construct represented someone who had genuinely changed. Not one speech, not one apology. Behavior, time, consistency, responsibility. The chamber asked, should trust return? Not automatically, but new evidence should be allowed to matter. 75. Flexible, boundary, intelligence, final mat. Protect the fire without etching it. Thousands of people appeared. Some supportive, some needy, some selfish, some generous, some confused, some trustworthy, some inconsistent, and none carried labels. That was the real test. Anonymous had to observe patterns, adjust access, communicate boundaries, protect responsibilities, remain capable of kindness, and update judgment when new evidence appeared. Not every request received yes. Not every request received no. Not every mistake ended a relationship. Not every apology restored trust. Not every disagreement became combat. Not every uncomfortable feeling meant danger. Fire grew brighter. Not because Anonymous gave more of it away, because he stopped wasting it. Master Grit, level V, the chamber showed. 76. Serpent Ultra, %. The chamber explained. The worm was never the statistic. You were supposed to read us. The fire remained bright. But now it had gates, not walls. A wall only knew how to block. A gate could open. The next doorway appeared. What happens when someone learns how to look trustworthy? 77. Chapter 8. God versus Leviathan. The battle beneath the ego. The doors to the war of access had barely closed when the time chamber changed its mind. An enemy stood before 100 training constructs. Every one of them looked trustworthy. Their expressions were calm. Their words were polished. Their energy signatures were clean. Each seemed to understand boundaries, accountability, humility, and exactly what a trustworthy person was supposed to sound like. Serpent Ultra Instinct flickered around Anonymous. Greenish blue snake chi, silver reaction lines, purple dragon chi hidden underneath. Serpent Ultra Inst 3%. The chamber had given him one command. Do not judge the speech. Watch the pattern. Then every construct vanished. The arena cracked open. A black ocean appeared beneath Anonymous. The sky became enormous. Storm clouds stretched beyond sight as something gigantic moved beneath the water. Anonymous immediately activated Dragon Chi. Warning, he stopped. Snake Chi searched the ocean. 78 new signature. Hellspawn inspired awareness came online. Symbolic environment detected. Chess Master began calculating. Shadow Strategist interrupted. Are you assuming the largest thing in the room is your opponent? Anonymous lowered his hands. Good catch. Lightning illuminated the horizon as something serpentine moved beneath the water. The invisible spirit's message appeared, but another message immediately followed. Do not confuse symbol with diagnosis. This chamber does not give you permissions to label people. Biblical imagery appeared across the clouds. Job 41, Psalm 74, Isaiah 27:1. The chamber clarified different tradition interprets passages differently. Here, Leviathan will function a symbolic training model. Pride, distortion, control, deception, chaos, hidden motives. Ego without self and examination. 79. The creature disappeared. The ocean remained. Then a throne rose from the water. The doer of eagle words appeared around the throne. I deserve more. Anonymous studied the throne. Who's supposed to sit there? Anyone. Then, including you, the throne duplicated. 10, 100, thousands. One appeared inside every training construct. Then one appeared behind Anonymous. The real examination had begun. Hidden warning. Pride travels without walking. Two constructs argued. One person's pride provoked another person's pride. A third heard half the story and chose a side. A fourth repeated it. A fifth embellished it. Soon 20 constructs argued. Then 50. The quiet genius. The broadcast had ended and the echoes of spiritual rap's warning still thrummed in the air. An electric pulse that refused to dissipate. But among the rap tribe, there were those for whom the message rang differently. To them, the warning called forth a secret they had learned to hide. Their brilliance. In the library at dawn, in a corner of the city's largest public library, Scholar Rap sat hunched over a stack of dusty volumes. She had arrived hours before dawn, her backpack heavy with notebooks of theories no one would credit her with. And yet her brilliance wasn't loud. It was camouflaged like the title she wore, Scholar Rap, more librarian than prophet. She revisited the recording, loud enough for her headphones to catch only fragments. Bring it into the light, cipher, share it like a torch. She smiled softly. She'd been playing dumb for decades, smiling at the jokes she didn't laugh at, asking basic questions no one expected answers to. But when she spoke, when the moment demanded, she unraveled riddles faster than most could even follow. She closed her eyes, inhaled unity, exhaled division, just as spiritual had instructed. But then she whispered her own secret verse. I've been playing dumb, but the light finds me anyway. In the underground studio deep beneath the city, where wires hummed like living veins, Bassline Rap leaned in close to the console, that same chant fresh in his mind. The enemy will wear comfort. We are trained to see beyond mask. Bassline Rap was quiet. He let others boast, let others post flashy bars online. But in the booth, when the bass dropped heavy, his subwoofers told stories of tectonic shifts. He knew beats, not how loud they sounded, but what they revealed. He dropped notes that few heard but many felt, vibrations that exposed hidden truths before anyone spoke them. He tapped a low note, felt it ripple across the room, and thought, playing dumb gives me space to listen. But I'm the one who hears everything. On the rooftop garden, atop a community center's rooftop where green sprouted through cracks in cement, Green Thumb Rap knelt among seedlings, headphones pressed gently over her ears. She had been taught to hide her intellect behind dirt-streaked cheeks and gentle words. The world expected her to be simple, just a lover of plants. But when the city slept, she whispered healing into dying stems, coaxing life from decay. She knew that truth, like seeds, required soil and patience. She memorized spiritual rap's words too. Ask yourself, what weakness would the shadow use against me? Her answer was in those seedlings, fragile life that thrived only through quiet care. She, like the plants, had grown quietly but powerfully. The meeting by evening, the secret geniuses found each other, not in a hall or a club, but in the back room of a battered community's work of hip-hop, podcasts, technology, comedy, original stories, culture, business conversations, community, and the sprawling rap verse. The problem was that an idea inside the founder's head did not automatically become an experience inside somebody else's day. A logo could not introduce itself. A podcast could not force somebody to press play. A vision could not pay its own production costs. Somewhere between creation and community, a bridge had to be built. He opened a notebook and wrote 5 words. See, stop, show, spread. Beneath them, he drew a second line: stranger, viewer, follower, regular, supporter, ambassador. He stared at the arrows until they stopped looking like marketing vocabulary and started looking like a journey. His job was not to magically acquire 1 million followers. His job was to move one real person, one honest step forward, then learn how to repeat the process. The decision changed the scale of the mission. 1 million was intimidating. One conversation was possible. One demonstration was possible. One follow was measurable. One return visit could be earned. Rap Palace would not begin with an empire. It would begin with a door, a question, a piece of content, and the discipline to record what happened next at Rap Palace. 4. Chapter 1, the first door Anonymous woke the next morning without a marketing department. This was inconvenient because he intended to build a media company. No advertising agency was downstairs waiting for instructions. No social team had prepared a campaign dashboard. There was no intern whose main responsibility was not as seriously at analytics. There was a phone, a notebook, Rap Palace, and Anonymous. He decided that would be enough for day 1. His first discovery arrived before he approached anybody. He had been thinking about Rap Palace from the inside. He knew every room, hip-hop, technology,